when it comes to radically uprooting your life and whatever you're moving across the town, across the state, across the country, across the continent, or like me, across the globe. The usual, most logical thing people discuss is what to take. Because again, it's normal, it's natural, it's human. We want to prepare. But if it's a tourist trip, sure. If you are trying to radically change your life and rebuild it in a different place, the most important thing is not what to take. It's not what to take, it's what not to take. Because when it comes to normal stuff for survival, supplements, you can get it anywhere. Electronics, you can get it anywhere. Clothes, well, I mean, you can get it anywhere. Even basic stuff like medication, for example, blood pressure, because I am old. In half of the countries I have been to, I could just walk to a pharmacy and buy it in hours. I need a prescription. Ultra easy to get. I mean, it's high blood pressure medication. Who doesn't have blood pressure? But what not to take is rarely discussed. And what not to take is one of those things which will decide and determine if you're actually moving to rebuild your life, or if you're just moving for an expat experience and then you will inevitably bounce back. And when it comes to what not to take, there are two things, physical and non-physical. Let me first talk about physical because it's the simplest one. I have been a minimalist for the last decade and a half. So obvious less stuff is better, but let me give you an example of someone I knew who used to be my neighbor in one of the seaside cities in Vietnam. His situation will be the perfect illustration on physical aspect, what not to take. The older gentleman in his late 40s, early 50s already made a decision to permanently move from Florida to Vietnam and settle. And he had enough-ish money. He had decent amount of money saved up from work, from whatever. But again, things happen. More is always better. But his mistake was to, after he made a decision to move, instead of getting rid of everything and whatever he needs, take it with him, he decided, you know what, let me sit on two chairs at the same time. So he pulled the typical American, let me get a storage unit. Again, would be fine if he just went for an extended trip. He decided to move. But he got himself a rental unit, storage unit, where he put his Range Rover, his collectibles, his furniture, his whatever, a ton of stuff. And the most interesting illustration is me and him used to live in a higher end place, but I think he told me he pays like $250 a month for his storage unit, and the place where we lived at, $250 will get you a decent apartment. Not great, decent. So here is already a minus, just throwing money for no reason, just hoping to maybe someday. All comes from fear. The thing which happened, which really cemented my understanding, is he received an email from his storage unit provider one day saying, you know what, the water pipe burst, the unit is flooded, we need to make sure you come through as soon as possible to check your stuff. I don't remember the exact specifics, but it was along the lines of you need to come urgently to see what's going on. No choice. So he paid a few grand to fly, even though ticket bought in advance will be $600 to $700 one way. Instead, I think he paid like over $3,000 for to and from. Only to come there, get in his storage unit, to realize, yes, pipe burst. Yes, units were flooded. His unit had no issues. So he literally flew and spent thousands and raised his blood pressure just for nothing to happen. And of course, there's like, oh, maybe you should have talked to your relative, ask a relative to come through, maybe negotiate. Sure, it's all correct, whatever, it's irrelevant. The thing is, he set himself up for failure, where he pays the price of a rent in a decent apartment just to keep stuff he largely don't need. He doesn't need that. Because again, last time I checked, and that situation was circa 3 years ago, he still has his storage unit, he still pays for it, he has all of his, frankly, garbage. Because if that keeps him, it can be the nicest, the best Range Rover in the world, it's garbage because it holds him back. While he's still living in the same town we met. Question is, what's the point? This stuff keeps you back, period. When you organize physical stuff, let's talk about physical stuff primarily for that specific episode of Escaping from Oregon. Furniture will go easy. Craigslist exists for a reason. Whatever your personal things, I can tell you if you're planning to uproot your life. But your personal things, let me be generous and say, doesn't fit in 3 suitcases. I'm saying 3 because this is how many suitcases I'll be flying in, 2 or 3. Thanks Delta, 2 suitcases included. On a trip to Asia, one is extra $200. So if it doesn't fit and you have something ultra large, ultra bulky, ultra uncomfortable to carry, or ones you cannot carry, shout out to my gun guys who look at their firearms as a magic charms and they're like, oh, I cannot never live anywhere without my gun. Stay where you're at. If you cannot do that, you need to question your priorities. Are you actually planning to truly uproot and move? Or are you just wanting to take whatever you have already and just switch a picture you see out of a window? That's the question. Minimalism. Your stuff holds you back. So if you decide, okay, I'm moving, get rid of everything you can. I can tell you what, based on my experience, because I moved around with little stuff. I moved around with more stuff. I was that dude dragging 3 suitcases around. I was that dude with a backpack and 2 small gym bags, which technically all of that stuff could have fit in one big backpack. I just, again, used what I had. Minimalism. I never regretted having less stuff, because it doesn't matter if I took a visa run from Vietnam to Malaysia and I decided, you know what, let me explore the country since I'm there already. I never regretted having a light backpack where all of my stuff fits in there, because guess what, if I need to find something, it doesn't matter if I was looking for a deodorant or contact lenses. Well, first of all you can, and second of all, to be honest, it's kind of small little side quest in your exploration. I did regret dragging suitcases around, and to give you an illustration, a friend of mine, shout out Rostislav, still holds on to 2 of my suitcases full of my shit. Simply because, sure, part of it is a household items and it's kind of pointless to drag plates and glasses and the pillow. I mean, I needed it. But at the same time, there were also some of my personal things, which, I mean, it's like, do you really need 2 dozen of shorts? I thought I did. Sure, I train a lot. It's not like all of a sudden there is no shorts to be found in Asia. It's just silly. It's silly. But it's this internal fear wanting to prepare. Because we are, and again, story of my life, trying to avoid failure, which, I mean, still didn't set myself up for success, had to come back. It's hopefully final time I am moving abroad. Instead of concentrating on the right things, which will be part of a topic of those episodes, we try to prepare in the best way possible. For me it was ultra stupid. Let me take extra shorts with me. Pointless. You will have to really sit down, ask yourself, what do you truly need to survive? And if you're honest, not that much. But most importantly, ask what you're trying to achieve with uprooting. Because again, if you know for a fact you're gonna settle there, and if you drag 3 suitcases of stuff just because, I don't know, animal pack is cheaper off of Amazon than in a local gym store, sure. If you know it for a fact, it's fine. It's me. Guilty as charged. If you're just going to more let me explore mode, travel ultralight, etc., 1 suitcase is more than enough. Point is, why are you going there? Why? Are you trying to build your life somewhere else where you feel more at home, where you're surrounded with a better environment, with better people? Concentrate on what actually helps you achieve that. Everything else can be figured out. That's the physical side of a house. Another more important one, which is worth a separate video, is non-physical things which hold you back. Unfulfilled commitments, family, current past relationship. It's even more important than physical, so it deserves a separate video, because people will drag you back, crabs in a bucket, more likely, more readily, and more painfully than any physical item will.